Hello there once again, my name's Kagami, we're playing Katawa Shoujo, and it's decision time. Well, I want to go to the library. Do I want to go into town? Let's go to the library. I'm a book nerd. The library seems a good place to go. Hanako looked as if she was taken pretty off guard by Lily leaving, so she might want someone to talk to. Slinging my bag over my shoulder, I make my way out of the classroom. I walk down the hallway to the library past a multitude of closed doors. Though each one of the sounds is furiously rehearsal, can be heard. Hold on one second. Okay, I just want to make sure it was actually recording. Rock music blares out of one door almost as loud as the concert. I guess that one of the advantages to a private school. There are actually enough rooms to go around at a time like this. And when I think about it, the grounds and building of the school are kept pretty good condition. They can't be too cheap. I've heard that this place has some pretty serious benefactors. The walls of the library only partially insulate the noise of the festival preparations, but they're the only sound to be heard. Not a soul stirs here, with everyone apparently enjoying the weather outside or working on festival events. Yuko isn't here either. Maybe she doesn't work on Saturdays. I quietly walk through the library, now fairly familiar with its layout. I head to the back where Hanako's private little corner is. I run my hand along the spine of the books on the way there, feeling the individual textures of each as I glance across the titles. I used to do this all the time at the library and the hospital. Some things never change, I guess. Like the smell of a library. No matter how much care you take, the paper in books is going to degrade with time. Probably, no matter which library you go into anywhere in the world, it must have the same musty smell. I find something that looks light enough to read without any major thought involved, then look for Hanako in the reading area. Once again, she's sitting in the beanbag with her back to the bookshelf, reading the same book she had in the classroom. She's slowly making her way through the pages. Unlike last time I saw her here, I quietly take a seat in the beanbag. The noise is enough to catch her attention, but not startle her. The delicate routine that must be followed each and every time I try to talk to her almost feels like a hunting game. Is that the same book as before? Yes, I'm almost finished. Cool. I wonder if I should. Do you mind if I borrow it when you're finished? My mouth is faster than my mind, it seems. Sure, you may not like it though, but I'm sure it can't be that bad. After all, you've stuck with it, haven't you? I guess. I settle into my beanbag and set about reading my own book that has been buried in my bag. It's a light novel about pirates. To be honest, I'm barely skimming over the words. Haven't chosen the book merely because it belongs to a different genre than I usually read. Finding it harder to muster enough enthusiasm to finish the book, and noticing that I've inadvertently distracted Hanako quite a bit, I decided to try and make conversation. So, I see Lily left without you. She nods before taking her eyes off the book. She must have been really into it after all. Lily said she had to go home and meet someone. Oh? Akira, her sister. Sister? I haven't heard her talk about her family. She and Akira used to live together. I thought all the students lived in the dorms. We don't have to. But it's easier, right? I mean, there's food here and you're close to the school. I don't think I've ever been to class on time so many times in my life. Her badly hidden smile proves quite rewarding. In the back of my mind, I know I have a bit of homework to catch up on, and it's quite comfortable in here. No one can find me and force me into working for their pet projects either. Though now that I'm thinking about the festival, another question comes up. Hey, Hanako, what are you doing for the festival? For a split second, I think that Hanako is about to throw her book in the air from shock. Sorry? I was just asking what you were doing for the festival tomorrow. Anything planned? I don't know. Hanako answers in the way that people do when they don't want to ask any more questions. I take it large crowds and loud music aren't really her thing. Oh, okay. Change the subject. So, what's Lily's sister like? She's nice. She's pretty like Lily, but she dresses businesslike. Businesslike? She's always wearing a suit. I see. And that makes her less pretty somehow? Hanako gives an embarrassing shake of her head. No, just different. I'll admit it. This has gotten me intrigued. To hear Hanako talk about someone other than Lily is a first, and to be complimentary about it too. But as I try to picture the mystery sister, all I can think of is Lily in a suit, and I can't imagine that not being attractive. Not at all. Well, one day you'll have to introduce me to her. Okay. Our brief conversation ends as abruptly as it started, and we both return to our novels. Book reading! The passage of time is marked only by the gradual movement of the patches of light cast through the windows. Slowly, the noise from various rehearsals of the building fade out and die as students start to get hungry and tired. Just thinking about that makes my stomach start to turn knots around itself. I think it's time to head back. Do you think Lily would be back by now? I think I might head back to my dorm. I'm pretty tired from this week. And not a word from that is a lie. Moving to a new school as it ramps up for a major event, has been taxing, to say the least. I feel myself nodding off as I read my book. Okay, I might stay here a little longer. Looking at Hanako's book, I can see that she's only a few pages away from completing it. For a moment, I consider hanging around until she finishes, but once again, my stomach turns, emitting a gurgling sound. Sure thing. Well, I'm going to head off before it gets dark. I'll see you around, okay? Okay. See you, Hiseo. Later. Hiseo? Thank you for hanging out with me. I can see how hard it was for her to get that simple sentence out of her mouth. It leaves me hanging for a moment. So there is someone in this school who's even lonelier than me. Maybe lonelier. Lonely is the wrong word. I haven't been lacking company for the first week, but I still managed to feel somewhat alone and detached. Maybe lonely is the wrong word for Hanako too. She has Lily after all, doesn't she? I realize I've been standing there far too long without answering, and I pull off a flawless, not too exaggerated smile. You're welcome. Good night, Hanako. Night. Adorable! That face is not. God. I leave her to finish her book and head back to the dorms, and the promise of food. Oh, please not Genji, please not Genji, please not Genji, please not Genji. Oh, sweet. Title sequence. I've been reading a lot today, out loud, so my voice is getting a little hoarse. I probably need to get some water after this episode. The next day, I wake up feeling a little lightheaded. It's almost noon already. Sleeping late is fine since it's on Sunday and there are no classes. It's just not just a Sunday, though, but the festival as well. From my window, I can already see some people at the soba booth slinging noodles onto plates for people with a craving for low-quality food. I throw back a handful of my morning meds and ponder how to spend the day. There will be a few exams in the coming week, but I don't consider those as ominous as others, so I'm not worried about them, as I probably should. With no urgent obligations regarding education, I should be free to spend the day at the festival as I like. Finishing my morning routine, I exit the hallway, intending to go out and find something to eat. Passing by his door, I decide to see what Kenji is up to today out of impulse. I'm curious if he has any plans since everyone is doing something. Then again, I can picture him having built a soundproof shelter in his room, or possibly something like a fort, complete with no girls allowed sign, and with the girls crossed out and Buddy crudely scrawled underneath it. Knocking on the door, which is luckily devoid of any kind of sign, I hear again the unsettling click of the last 10 locks being pulled back. The door opens a crack.
Who is it?
Oh god, it's Kenji. You're supposed to ask that before you open the door.
Oh, it's you. Damn, it's early.
It's not really that early.
What is it, man?
Nothing, I was just gonna ask if you're gonna do today. Half the school is out there already.
Out where? Why? No.
What?
What? Is today special? Why are they here? Who are they? I can hear them. It's loud. Don't tell me. Has the invasion begun?
He suddenly looks more alarmed.
What day is it, man?
I guess you can't see the big wooden booths outside and people selling stuff.
What the hell are you talking about? I have my curtains closed at all times to thwart the snipers.
It's the festival. You know that, right?
Oh shit, that's the day? Oh, damn. Damn it. I can't believe I forgot. I don't have my fort finished yet. This is bad. This is going to be a very bad day. Oh, it's good you told me this, man. This is going to be a bad day.
Why?
Oh man, they're going to be everywhere. The people outside my window socializing.
And he rubs his temples nervously, suddenly looking very ill.
It's going to be loud as hell. Damn, I was going to go out today, but it's ruined. Everything is ruined. This is awful. This sucks. What the hell? This really sucks. I can't go anywhere now. There's nowhere to run.
Genji seems nervous. Yeah, you could you could even say he's majorly freaked out.
I can't believe this. So that's what today was? Damn, and I couldn't even prepare for it. I couldn't even brace myself, and now it's here, and I can't do anything. You should have told me this earlier, dude. I mean, at least I know, but I could have known earlier. Imagine what I could have accomplished.
Sorry. Ugh, I thought you knew. So I guess you're not going to do anything today? The weather's even good. Yesterday was really windy, so I thought today would be cold. It's not though, so there's no reason to just stay inside. Yeah, you should check the festival out. And he groans and covers his face with his hands.
No, I can't do it. They'll eat me alive out there, I know it.
Yeah, it has to be a joke. But he said it with such a straight face. Relatively straight.
What are you gonna do? We should hang out in here. You can help me build my fort.
It's got a fort.
We might still make it if we work together.
I don't know, I'm pretty hungry, so I thought I'd get some food first and then check out the attractions. Clash Project seems pretty cool, and I gave a hand with it, so I want to see it at least. The one and chat with Lily, I guess. Speaking of that, don't you have any obligations for the project?
Are you out of your mind? That blind broad is up to no good. I can feel it in my spleen, man.
Your spleen? Spleen?
Spleen? Your spleen? The spleen! Her presence is like a dark shadow that's in my way of my great vision.
Your vision sucks.
As expected of blind.
What? Kind of offensive. Blind people. What? Besides, I thought you were also... He holds up his hand to interrupt me.
Only legally. Metaphorically, I can see farther than any man before me has seen.
And he looks stoically into the metaphorical distance to emphasize his statement, thrusting his chin forward to look manlier. Oh, actually, it's just the corridor wall 2 meters away, but it's all the same.
I can see the future of mankind. It's a dark one unless the threats of women is stifled. They are everywhere.
He fingers his scarf nervously, faster and faster, like he's trying to start a fire, then slowly begins to calm down once the panic attack finishes running its course.
I'm going to have to find someone place to hide in, a safe haven.
Oh my god, his voice is killing me!
And then knock the lights out of myself so that I don't have to experience this horrible day. I had the perfect thing for that. I must prepare now. Don't go to the festival.
Okay.
Later, dude.
The door slowly closes with a loud, low creak, and I don't know how to feel what Kenji just said. After buying a plastic plate of takoyaki from a stall belonging to the class next to ours, I take a seat in the school garden and watch people pass as I tentatively nibble away on the rather bland-tasting item. I guess I shouldn't complain. It's better than nothing, and it didn't cost much. As I look out towards the school, watching the people coming and going proves a surprising, entertaining way of passing the time as I eat. Little children accompanied by parents or grandparents scamper about in the din from event to event, one hand dragging their company and the other bearing an oversized, colorful snack. I can't help but notice the age range among the people here is skewed towards the elderly, something that I'd also noticed when I was walking around town. This must be one of those towns where the only people left are those that lived here their whole lives and apparently refused to leave, and those wanting to live out the rest of their days in one of the increasingly few tranquil places. I guess that also goes a way of explaining how conservative Yamaku's school culture seems to me. Not that I mind it one bit. I kind of like how calm Yamaku is, the surrounding area. The heat, though, is another matter entirely. Sitting in one place for so long has focused my mind on how annoyingly humid it's getting. Now that the hottest part of the day is here. Better get moving if... Yeah! The sound of the Carolyn bells takes me completely by surprise as I stand up, a reaction sharpened by a few of the people strolling around as well. The PA system cracks to life after the tolling bell ends. Its age shows and the principal making a barely intelligible announcement over it, officially opening the festival that's very much in full swing. It's quite amusing to contrast the pleasant smiles of the older folks against the alternatively pained and bored grimaces of their younger charges. The students, on the other hand, seem to pay a little heed. Nevertheless, as the address finally ends, all are united in polite, if not overly enthusiastic applause, and then go back to business. Slipping a hand in my pocket to look as relaxed as possible, I casually glance around for something to do. It's somewhat difficult to see very far with all the people around. I decide to fall back on a tired and trusting rule: go where everyone else seems to be gathering. Right now, that's the school courtyard and surroundings. Throwing the used plate into trash, I make my way towards the building. Seeing the number of stalls around permits the school building surprises me. Quite a few of the classes must have opted to have multiple stalls. In deciding which to visit first, I catch sight of a familiar banner with a blue patterned border and red text. Lily's stall is as good a place to start as any. I'm curious as to how it's going, after all of the work she and her class have been doing for it. Look at them, that's awesome. Stepping up to it, I begin to see why the class took so long to organize everything. Easily twice as wide as many of the other stalls, and with equipment for cooking strewn everywhere. It's closer to an outdoor restaurant than a festival event. As the student in front of me takes a bowl of noodles and leaves, I walk up to the counter. The girl behind it seems quite exasperated and asks me to wait a moment before she disappears underneath the counter. Seizing the moment, I take a quick glance around. Steam seems to rise from everywhere as pots and pans simmer away. The most blind of the students are unpacking ingredients while being helped by someone who is probably the teacher of 3-2. It doesn't take long to notice Lily among them, talking with the teacher as she quickly counts out the boxes and packets with her fingers. From her expression and the fact that both she and the teacher seem to be in a state of mild confusion, it appears that there's been some problem in coordination. Before I can stare any longer, the girl behind the counter pops up again, only to look back and ask where the spare change box is. Lily pauses for a moment before she and the girl switch places at the counter, and the teacher quickly walks off somewhere. Sorry about that, we're having a few problems. What would you like? It takes me a second to remember what I'd come here for. My eyes quickly dart to the side to read the menu sitting on the counter. Oh, I guess some miso soup. Ah, is that Hiseo? And on the next episode, we'll find out if that was Hiseo. Obviously, we know it is, and that was a bad joke, and I feel bad for it. Please don't hate this video or me for that comment. Okay, well, I'm just gonna say, have a fantastic evening. As always, and ta-ta.